Hello, welcome along to Early Sports Breakfast this Wednesday morning. Katie Shanahan here with you on talkSPORT. How are you doing? Are you just waking up? Have you hit the snooze a couple of times? I certainly did this morning. Or are you making a cup of coffee? Or maybe you're on your way to work. Well, whatever you're doing, settle in as we'll get you ready for your day ahead on this Wednesday morning. I'll be here guiding you through until 6 o'clock, where talkSPORT Breakfast will be taking over with Alan Brazil and the birthday boy, Ali McCoy. So it's going to be a fun breakfast show for you this morning. So stick around. We've got plenty of fun coming up. And just keep talkSPORT bubbling away in the background. As for the football last night, did you watch any of it? I was quite interested to see Alexander Isak scoring his first goal for Liverpool. Good to see him up and running and celebrating in front of the Kop end. But it was a moment of madness, wasn't it, for Hugo Ekitike taking his shirt off when he didn't really need to, and Arne Slot rightfully being quite annoyed, saying it was a stupid thing to do, especially bearing in mind if you're going to score a big goal in a big game, then maybe it merits it, but not when it's just a tap-in. Chelsea came back from 1-0 down to beat Lincoln 2-1. Brighton thumped Barnsley 6-0, and Wolves beat Everton among those Carabao Cup results 2-0. As always, we would love to hear from you this morning, so tell us what you're up to in this early hour and where you are listening to us across the world as well. I think last time we had someone call us from Norway, so can you beat that? The number is 03717 223344. You can text me 81089. Nick's in the studio. How are you?
Yeah, very good morning. I'm, Southampton lost, but can't really expect too much at Anfield, can we?
No. You played well, though.
We were all right.
At the start.
We were good for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Against not a very good Liverpool team. So, what can you do? I hope we just got to survive this season in the Championship and try and build up. There's something happening under Will Still.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Do you like what Will Still's doing? Do you like what he's building there?
Jury's out.
Okay.
Jury is out. He's quite intense, isn't he? He's done good work in France. He's quite an interesting manager. Seems like an interesting guy, but we'll see.
Okay, so what's coming up on the show?
We'll start at Anfield, where Hugo Ekitike cannot stop scoring, but he's in trouble with Arne Slot. We'll take a look at two big stories in English cricket, salute a legend, as well as look at that Ashes squad announcement as well. Plus, we'll hear from the Ryder Cup teams as golf's greatest tournament approaches, and we'll go through the best of the front and back pages on this Wednesday morning.
Okay, right. Let's get into it, as it was another action-packed night on talkSPORT. Here's how the Carabao Cup third round sounded.
It was the county of Lincolnshire that witnessed the major story in the last round of this competition.
Barnsley 0, Brighton 3. Diego Gomez has just wrapped up a hat-trick. His second goal was special. This was even better.
Cardiff haven't reached the fourth round since 2011-12. That year they went on to the final. Burnley 0, Cardiff 2.
Ball played in here, Street 1-0. Lincoln lead against the world champions.
It's one that they deserve.
Away by McCarthy. Isak! He's off and running.
And here we think it's Broadhead's goal, and that should be the game for Wrexham. Wrexham 2, Reading 0.
Chelsea bring the ball forward towards the edge of the box. George!
What a goal!
Stunning goal from Tyreek George.
Now really hammer home the advantage of getting back on level terms.
Endo heads it straight down. It's going to break for Charles. It's 1-1.
They might be able to walk it in with Buonanotte. They have. And they've scored twice in 90 seconds to turn it around at the beginning of the second half.
All over the top. Chiesa brings it down, squares it for Ekitike, and Liverpool retake the lead. He took his shirt off to celebrate scoring the goal. He'd already had a yellow card in this second period. 2 lemons make a strawberry. He's off.
Great night of cup football on the talkSPORT network.
Yeah, it was a brilliant night of Carabao Cup third round action. A lot of attention, a lot of the back pages looking at Hugo Ekitike taking his shirt off to get a second yellow card, which means he got a red. I mean, he didn't need to do it, and it was just poor, really, wasn't it? Just idiotic behaviour and just not really a sign of a team player there, because it means that he's going to miss out on Crystal Palace at the weekend. So Arne Slot made 9 changes at Anfield, where Southampton ran them pretty close. They were very good in the first half, at least. Both sides missed very good chances in the first half before the moment we've all been waiting for. Alexander Isak got his first Liverpool goal just before half-time. Southampton then got one back. That was through Shea Charles before the second half. saw Hugo Ekitike, what we've been speaking about, scoring again to win the game for Liverpool, but he was sent off for getting that second yellow card for removing his shirt in celebration. Arne Slot gave his reaction to what happened.
Frustrating. I don't think it's necessary that something like this happens and then tell the players we will never do this again, because I don't think many players would do this after scoring a goal, taking off your shirt, let alone if you're already having a yellow. And I can maybe understand if you are no yellow and you score an 87th minute winner after you outplayed 3 players and hit the ball in the top corner. But if you score a goal like this, but I'm old-fashioned. I played 20 years. Like I said, I'm 47 now, so maybe I have. Maybe I have to adjust to this new generation. So you can walk away and say, I'm so happy with this goal, but never take your shirt off. So the good thing is that it doesn't cost us anything for tonight, but it does cost us a suspension for the weekend.
Yeah, I agree with Arne Slot. I mean, if you score an absolute worldie, then maybe it merits taking your shirt off. I mean, he could have just lifted and got the cameras to look at his name on the back of the shirt, but he didn't need to take it off. And also, he was wearing a thermal, so it just wasn't quite the same impact. It was literally a tap-in. Chiesa did most of the work, and then he just popped it in. I just think it was really, really kind of disappointing because it means that he misses the Palace game this weekend because of that red card. He has already apologised to the Liverpool fans, saying that the emotion got the better of him. Well, on the sports bar last night, Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant discussed whether players should be booked for removing their shirts.
Why is that rule even there? What purpose is that rule serving?
Don't take your shirt off.
Yeah, but why? If you score a goal in a celebration...
Don't take your shirt off.
No, okay, but what is the rule for? Rules are, handball, yellow card, don't tackle, blah, blah. There's rules in places for
don't take your shirt off.
Okay, but what's that ruling for?
Well, I don't know, but it's because what?
Well,
players were taking their shirts off.
But what? So what? In a goal celebration, so
what? They didn't want to throw it into stand.
Okay.
I don't know.
I get it.
It's classed as dissent. He took his shirt off, and I understand if you're absolutely ripped, right, and you want to take your shirt off, and you run off, and you got your chiseled abs out, and you want the picture on the back page of the papers. Yeah, no, I used to understand it.
So I guess you never did that.
No. Didn't want to get my belly out.
Very good from Jermaine there. Well, should we clear up what the rule is? It basically says that players are penalised with a yellow card for removing their shirts because it's considered excessive celebration and unsportsmanlike conduct, which delays the game. And also the rule says that it protects the visibility of sponsor logos during matches and also, it also prevents players from displaying potentially controversial political or religious messages that might be hidden under the jersey. So basically, it's considered, excessive celebration. Do you think the rule should or the law should be changed? Give me a call, 03717 223344, or you can text me 81089. Where do you sit on this? Do you really need to get a yellow card for taking your shirt off? I mean, they've got to keep the game at a fast pace, don't they? They have to keep everything in check. We're seeing everything is so watertight in the Premier League this season in terms of the goal kicks. Now that's off. You've got to do that for 8 seconds. Everything is trying to speed up the game. And when you have a celebration, that can kind of go on for quite some time. The wheel away to the corner flag, or they can kind of bundle on each other or whatever, and that kind of eats into the time. So if you then take off your shirt, you've got to put it back on. So it's maybe seen as time wasting and stuff. So where do you sit on this? I think it should just stick with a yellow card. Keep the players in check. Keep the flow of the game going well, and let's be honest, if it's a worldie and you want to take your shirt off and you're not already on a yellow card, then maybe it's fine. Like if you're a Mo Salah and you want to get your 6, 8, 10 pack out, fair enough. But I think, within last night, I think Hugo Ekitike, like he says, his emotions got the better of him, and he didn't need to take his shirt off because now he's ruled out against Crystal Palace at the weekend. Right, moving on to Chelsea. They had a trickier night than they probably had hoped for at Lincoln City, the League One side. Chelsea, they were 1-0 down in this game at half-time, but then 2 goals just after the break were enough to get the win in the end. And talkSPORT's Andy Townsend says that Chelsea will be feeling a little relieved after that.
they did survive a scare, but credit to them, because I tell you, that was uncomfortable. The first half was really difficult for them to handle. They couldn't get going. They were a goal down. And then, right at the start of the second half, they scored a thumping, thunderous strike from Tyreek George. Brilliant goal. And how did they need something to get them back in it? The second one a couple of minutes later. And then all of a sudden, Lincoln tired, but they kept having a go. But it never quite looked like it was going to drop for them, and Chelsea got through. Listen, not easy, not straightforward, but all that matters, they're in the hat.
Yeah, Chelsea just haven't quite got going this season, have they? They've suffered a number of injuries. Cole Palmer still not 100% fit, and just haven't quite managed to find their rhythm just yet. Chelsea were never on top enough to remove centre-backs Chalobah Fofana, who played nearly every minute of the last 4 games as well now. And why do you think Chelsea haven't quite hit the mark? Is it down to the Club World Cup? You know, they're feeling the fatigue and maybe, you know, the injuries kind of seeping through now due to being overtired and overworked due to that Club World Cup win, and we're seeing, the damages of that now. Well, talkSPORT's Declan McCarthy caught up with Enzo Maresca after the game. Here's what he said.
Enzo, a tale of two halves. A bit of brilliance from George to get you back into the game, but was it strong words at half-time?
We knew that the game was a tricky game, because they are the most direct team in League One, so cross, free kick, throwing inside the box, you have to defend that. We struggled a little bit first half, but second half I think we were much better, and we won the game. A
great moment for Tyreek George with a brilliant finish. How pleased were you with his contributions tonight?
Yeah, but we gave him a minutes against Man United, we gave him minutes against Fulham. Well, every time we have a chance, we give him minutes, so he's doing well.
An opportunity for Garnacho. Did he take that for you, in your eyes?
Yeah, absolutely. It was not an easy game. I told them that it was not an easy game. That's why I was upset first half, because we need that, because we know we need to do better. But overall, Gittens, they did well.
Okay, well, over at Molineux, Wolves ended up beating Everton 2-0. And David Moyes spoke to talkSPORT after the game, and he says he's not letting the defeat dampen Everton's start to the season.
It's one game in the Cup we've lost. We've actually played really well. We've just come away from Anfield, played pretty well there. So we've started the season good. So I wouldn't be certainly getting too disappointed about it. But we'll set pretty high standards, and we obviously didn't reach them as much as we'd like tonight. But the second half performance in a way merited a draw out of the game. I think that.
Everton fans, how are you feeling this morning? Are you disappointed with the team's kind of weak Carabao Cup exit? Were you hoping to go quite far in that competition? Never won the League Cup, Everton, and neither David Moyes as well. Would you have liked to have seen more from your side? How have you kind of assessed this start to the season? Give us a call, 03717 223344. You can text me 81089. And Wolves, what's that kind of done for the lift off, the boost around the club? You know, are Wolves still a relegation candidate this year? Potentially, yes, and this Carabao Cup win will have helped, certainly. But I suppose in terms of David Moyes, they kind of want to... They want to kind of push for success this season, and after making 7 changes, what kind of message does that send out to what they want to win this season? But yeah, so Everton out, and Wolves continuing through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Right, coming up next, we're going to be bringing you a tribute to legendary cricket umpire Dickie Bird and the best of the back pages. This is Katie Shanahan here on talkSPORT. Hello, good morning. How are you doing this Wednesday? Katie Shanahan here with you on talkSPORT, guiding you through until 6 o'clock, where we've got Alan Brazil and the birthday boy, Ali McCoy, will be here with talkSPORT Breakfast, reflecting on all of last night's Carabao Cup action and, of course, celebrating Ali's birthday. Keep those texts coming in, 81089. We're reflecting on the Carabao Cup action. Good morning to Harvey. He says, good morning, Katie. How are you? Harvey here, the Fulham fan from Tadley in Hampshire. I think Fulham could be the dark horses for a decent cup run this season. What do you think? Yes, they've done pretty well so far this campaign and did well last night as well, Harvey. So let's see if they can go on a good cup run. They beat Cambridge 1-0 last night, so let's see how far they can go in the competition. Good shout there. Also, Dan the Spurs fan, just picking up on what we're talking about, Chelsea having to come from a goal down to beat Lincoln 2-1 last night. Dan the Spurs fan saying here, Chelsea are not world champions. They struggled to beat Lincoln. Pathetic. Keep those texts and calls coming in, 81089 or 03717 223344. This is Early Sports Breakfast with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual. Right, we've got the best of the back pages coming up very shortly, but here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. Will Jacks has been given a surprise call-up for the Ashes series in Australia this winter. The batter, who can also bowl off spin, has only played 2 previous tests. Harry Brook has been named England's vice-captain. Aberdeen's worst start to a league campaign since 1999 continued as they were beaten 2-0 at Dundee United. They're bottom of the table currently and have only picked up 1 point in their 5 Scottish Premiership games. Fans in the away end chant for their manager, Jimmy Thielen, to be sacked. And get this, Tottenham manager Thomas Frank admits he'd welcome Harry Kane back to the club with open arms.
I think there's a lot of Tottenham fans, including myself, who would like to see Kane back. He's a top player. I don't know what he's thinking. Myself, I'm a traveler. I like to explore things as well. So he's been here for many years. So why not enjoy the time at Bayern a little bit more? But he's welcome. If you want to join us, he's more than welcome.
OK, well, reports in Germany suggest that the England captain has a clause in his contract that allows him to leave Bayern Munich next summer. So that'll be after the World Cup. Kane has already scored 13 goals this season. Well, for more on all the day's biggest stories, you can go to talksport.com. I want to pick up on this story as part of Talking Points. So this is our part of the show where we pick up on a story and want to get your views. The number is 03717 223344, because the back pages are saying on the back page of the Daily Star, come back Kane, as Frank wants to get clause into Harry Kane. Thomas Frank has made it clear that he wants the England captain, Harry Kane, back in a Tottenham shirt. Similar story on the back page of The Sun here. Frank, we'd love to give Harry a perfect ending. Thomas Frank has opened the door to a dramatic Tottenham return for hero Harry Kane. Spurs fans, I'd love to hear from you this morning. Where do you sit on this? Because I can understand why Tottenham fans would like Harry Kane back at the club. He's on fire at the moment, can't stop scoring. He's already got 13 goals in 7 games for Bayern Munich. You feel as though he's actually getting better as a striker. And even on Friday, Harry Kane could become the fastest player to 100 goals with a club. He's currently on 98 after 103 Bayern Munich games. Now, Ronaldo and Haaland have got to 100 in 105 games. So he needs 2 goals on Friday for the record. Bayern up against Werder Bremen. So he's got 2 hat-tricks already this season. It's only, late September, and you feel as though he's just getting better and better. So Tottenham fans, would you like to see Harry Kane back at your club? But also, if you're Harry Kane, would that be a step backwards for him? What would it be like coming back to Spurs? Because personally, I can't see Spurs winning the Champions League or the Premier League in the next couple of years. Would you be coming back to win, the Europa League or the FA Cup or the League Cup in the next couple of years if you're Harry Kane? Would you wait for another spot at a European club, for example, a Barcelona, a Juventus, an AC Milan? Would you go back to Spurs, or would you wait for one of those big number 9 spots at a huge European club like Barcelona, Juventus or AC Milan? What would you do if you were Harry Kane? Personally, I think he should wait for one of those European clubs and just keep growing, getting better. Because if you're coming back to Spurs, what are you going to win? You're not going to win the Premier League and Champions League, in my opinion, in the next couple of years. But yeah, let's see what happens to Harry Kane. Could he be coming back to Tottenham? Spurs fans, give me a call. 03717223344. Do you want Harry Kane back at your club? Or you can text me 81089. Right, let's move on to another one of the stories that's actually dominating the back pages as well, because we're going to get into the Ashes squad in a bit more detail with Nick. But first, we'd like to take a few minutes to salute a true icon of English cricket, Dickie Bird, who died yesterday at the age of 92. The former England captain, Graham Gooch, came on Hawksbee and Jacobs to pay a great tribute to Dickie.
We all remember him as a fantastic character as an umpire, but a brilliant umpire, well respected by not only players and fans and media and everyone in this country, but all over the world. And, he became a very good after-dinner speaker as well. And, of course, he had a pretty good cricket career, played for Yorkshire, went to Leicestershire and played there before he took up umpiring. And, one of my sort of abiding memories is things happened to Dickie on the field. I remember a test match at Headingley once, and I think it was the West Indies in the 80s, where you might remember this, they had a leaking pipe behind the stumps.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Where the bowlers run up. And right where Dickie was standing, it could only happen to him. And the water was like a spring, coming up through the ground.
Oh, lovely tribute to Dickie Bird there, who's actually on the back page of the Times. Nick Ellaby is here to run through the back pages. Let's start with Dickie Bird. Lots of tributes coming in, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, probably the first and last cricket umpire to be a proper national celebrity. I mean, I grew up when Dickie Bird was, was working at the top of the game. He was such a character. Like Graham was saying, all the players loved him. And actually, I think umpires today could take a leaf out of Dickie Bird's book. Today in cricket, the umpires are properly wet. They don't stop the players from misbehaving. I'm not sure whether the relationships between the umpires and the players are really what they were. So yeah, absolute legend, Dickie. Real character. Great pictures of him on the back of the papers this morning. Cricket mourns a true great on the back of the Daily Mail. Dickie Bird, farewell to a national treasure on the Daily Telegraph, and also on the back of the Times. A lovely picture of him in that old England jumper with a cup of tea in the dressing room, sharing a laugh and a joke with some of the players. Nice tribute as well from Mike Afton in the Times. And then just looking at that Ashes squad, Brooke takes vice-captain role for Ashes as Pope axed. Bit harsh on Pope. I mean, he's still in the squad, but his position, Ollie Pope's position at number 3, has been a huge talking point for the last year and a half. He's only averaging about 35. I think at number 3 he does average 40. He's batted at 6, he's batted at 3, he's done lots of jobs for England. But a big question is, can Jacob Bethell do enough to get into that first test in Australia in Perth? I don't know whether you think the selectors should throw the 21-year-old into the fray in that first test in November.
I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? And especially with the batting order, depending on, I suppose you just go on form at the right time, don't you? Sometimes it's good. Like even we've seen, I know this is a different sport, but we've seen throwing in those risk or those wild cards. Think about Michelle Adjman at the Euros. She was only 19 years old, teenage sensation, but kind of unproven, I suppose. And it's do you give these young players a chance, and do you do that in the cricket capacity with the Ashes? Yeah,
I mean, I think the Ashes is a real cauldron. To throw someone in at 3 may be tricky, but the thing with Bethell is his ceiling is so high. Still doesn't have a first-class 100, but the selectors think that this is a guy for the future, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in that third test. We reckon in that first test, sorry. Will Jack's the other surprise inclusion as well. A very good batter. Bowls a bit of part-time off-spin, can bowl decently, hasn't played a test since December 2022. Obviously, Shoaib Bashir is very much the preferred spinner, and England dispensing with Rayan Ahmed, who will be with the Lions in Australia, and also Liam Dawson, who had played a test this summer but isn't going to get a look in. Another interesting story on the back of the Times is Felipe Massa is going to sue Formula One bosses over Crashgate. This is back in 2008 when Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed on purpose for Team Renault at the Singapore Grand Prix. And what happened there was that the safety car came out. Massa was in the lead, and Renault recently, since admitted that Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed on purpose, eventually cost Massa the championship. He finished out of the points in that race, and Lewis Hamilton pipped him to the title in 2008. Felipe Massa is now he's suing the FIA, Formula One management, and Bernie Ecclestone for damages up to £60 million. They all deny those charges, but we probably will see it in the High Court in London next month.
Wow, 60 million. That's a lot.
And just finally, before I go, very important story. Guinness is becoming 30p cheaper at next year's Cheltenham in a bid to win the crowds back. Alan Brazil will be pleased.
30p cheaper.
$7.50 though it costs instead of $7.80. So
yeah.
Still expensive. Hotels are really expensive there, but the Cheltenham Festival trying to get fans in. Numbers have been down in recent years.
Yes, good. Important that we get that in. Thank you, Nick.
Yes,
right, that was a look at the back pages. Katie Shanahan here with you this Wednesday morning. talkSPORT Breakfast coming up at 6 o'clock with Alan Brazil and birthday boy Ali McCoy. Right up next, we'll hear from the Ryder Cup teams ahead of today's opening ceremony, and we'll be having, of course, some fun with the front pages.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Well, let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. Over the last 3 years, the club lost 300 million quid, and Ratcliffe rightfully committed to sorting that. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way he went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands staff lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now, that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it does get a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered to be essential. And the reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. But it's not just seemingly stingy decisions. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies, and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Add to the mix the introduction of a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, while Casemiro's on 350 grand a week, and the frustration of fans reached fever pitch. Time will tell whether Ratcliffe's cost-cutting measures will improve outcomes at the club, but one thing's for sure, there's a long way to go for United to be back where many say they belong.
Good morning, Katie Shanahan here with you on Early Sports Breakfast. What are you up to this morning? Let me know whether you're on your way to work, walking the dogs perhaps. We've even had people call in and they've been fishing, or maybe you're just waking up and making a cup of coffee. Settle in as we guide you through until 6 o'clock, where Alan Brazil and birthday boy Ali McCoy will be here with talkSPORT Breakfast. Well, this morning we've been talking about and reflecting on Liverpool's win over Southampton last night. Hugo Ekitike among much of the back pages because he got a second yellow card for removing his shirt during his goal celebration after beating Southampton to go through in the Carabao Cup. Isak scored his first Liverpool goal as well. But let's just reflect on where do you stand on should you get a yellow card for taking your shirt off? Give me a call 03717 223344, or you can text me 81089. Where do you sit with this rule? Do you think we need this rule in terms of a yellow card? Do you think it's harsh? Well, let's speak to Glenn, the Liverpool fan. He's done exactly that. Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Good.
Yourself?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very well. Where do you sit on this? Do you think there should be a yellow card for players taking their shirt off after a goal?
I completely understand it. The rule is the rule. I'm a little bit disappointed that one of the rulings for it is that it's time wasting, considering the amount of time that is wasted each and every week of a Premier League season with VAR. I mean, really? Are you going to go down the lines of saying it takes that long to take a shirt off and put it back on, considering it takes sometimes 3-4 minutes to decide whether a goal's offside or not?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. And I suppose, the rule's saying it's considered excessive celebration and unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, where do you sit with that one?
How is it unsportsmanlike? I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, if you take your shirt off and start waving it in front of another player, different matter, different kettle of fish altogether. If you take your shirt off and you've got a message underneath which is deemed religious or whatever, why can't there be people that can tackle that person personally, one-to-one? Do you know what I mean? Why are we all sort of carded with the same... If I take off my shirt, not that anybody would like to see it, but if I take off my shirt... who am I going to offend? No one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it was interesting hearing from Arne Slot. I don't know if you heard this, Glenn, but he was saying that, he would kind of understand it if it was an absolute worldie or screamer potentially from the halfway line or something like that.
I totally get it.
But because it was a tap-in. It was a tap-in and Chiesa did most of the work and then he went over to the corner flag and lifted up his shirt and took it off. It all just seemed a bit much.
I think there might be a little self-consciousness with Ekitike at the moment because of the Isak signing. Maybe he's trying to make a statement that he's scored as well. I don't know. But to me, it just feels as though he's trying to sort of win over the crowd. But obviously that sort of backfired on him last night.
Well, exactly. And then it's ruled him out of the next game. So you feel as though...
Which is the most important thing. But it's nice to see he's come out and apologised to the fans.
Yeah, he says the emotions got the better of him. Well, Glenn, thank you so much for your call. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That's a really good point he makes. So do you agree with Glenn, the Liverpool fan there? Give us a call, 03717 223344. This is Early Sports Breakfast with Adrian Flux. The cover you need at a price you will love with What Fans Insurer of the Year 2021. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Right, here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. A win for Nottinghamshire's cricketers in their county championship decider at home to Warwickshire, which starts today, will see them win the Division 1 title for the first time in 15 years. Defending champions Surrey could still retain their crown. They are away at Strugglers, Hampshire. Nottingham Forest return to Europe for the first time in 30 years. That's this evening. Yes, they're away to Real Betis in the Europa League, which you can listen to live on talkSPORT 2 with boss Ange Postecoglou, who will be seeking his first win as head coach. Celtic go to Red Star Belgrade in Serbia as well. And Mikel Arteta admits he's been surprised by some of the negative chat around his team. They've been criticised for their approach as they drop points against Manchester City and Liverpool.
When I saw everything and watching it back and all the stats, I was surprised, but I respect everybody's opinion. And if I can see and learn something that I haven't seen, more than happy to do so. So that's never an issue.
OK, so Arsenal are hoping to avoid an upset in the third round of the EFL Cup tonight when they go to League One. Port Vale, that game is live for you on talkSPORT from 7 o'clock tonight. For more on this and all the day's biggest stories, go to talksport.com. Right, we are just 48 hours away from one of the great sporting occasions and we cannot wait.
We understand that it's going to be a big challenge, but I am very excited about my team, the form we have coming into this.
Please make some noise for the winners of the 2023 Ryder Cup, led on by their captain, Luke Donald. It's Team Europe!
You can go wherever you want with all the detail. The bottom line is, can the players perform in a hostile environment?
And Europe has pulled off the improbable.
Making the team is not the trophy. It's not a participation award. It's a nice thing to say you've done, but really, when you represent your team, you want to be able to win the thing.
I catch myself every now and then looking down the fairway, seeing the guys walk down the fairway and think how badly I'd want to do that. But I feel like I've been called for a bigger cause here.
If you have those experiences that you remember for the rest of your life, that's worth more than a couple $100,000 in the back of your pocket.
Yeah, the Ryder Cup cannot wait. The opening ceremony has actually been moved to today because of bad weather, which is forecast in New York tomorrow. The first pairings for Friday's foursomes will be announced at 9 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Now, those fans are rowdy at Bethpage Black on New York's Long Island because Team Europe have already been on a charm offensive there in an effort to get the American spectators on side. Meanwhile, the other big story this year has to be that the Americans are getting paid for the first time. Now, most of them are saying they'll donate the fee to charity after pressure and lots of questions from the press. Team Europe decided not to ask for money in their pre-tournament meeting. Interesting. European captain Luke Donald doesn't think you should be paid to play in the Ryder Cup.
If you have those experiences that you remember for the rest of your life, that's worth more than a couple $100,000 in the back of your pocket. So I was very proud of the guys. I think the ideals of how this Ryder Cup was set up back in the 20s by Samuel Ryder, I think he would have been proud too.
Luke Donald was playing at both Oakland Hills in 2004 and Medina in 2012, the last two times a team won the Ryder Cup on foreign soil. So USA are still the favourites, though. Right, time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Nick Ellaby is back alongside me, which means it's time for the front pages. First of all, though, can't wait for Forest's return tonight. What were you doing in March 1996?
When Forest were in Europe last time. In March 1996, I was watching Sri Lanka win the Cricket World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Really great team. Maybe like that was the start of this kind of one-day cricket that we watch now, with the batters just going for it from ball one. Sanath Jayasuriya opening the batting for them. That was unbelievable. And listening to East 17 as well before I got into rock and roll.
Before you got into rock and roll.
Steam, the album Steam I had on cassette, and it had sex noises in it, and I had to turn it right down. I was quite embarrassed about it because I was 10 or 11, and I used to listen really quietly because I was worried my mum would come in and hear me listening to some sort of, dodgy,
as long as you weren't cranking it up. No, I was 5 in 1996, so I was probably playing sport everywhere, kicking a ball around. Used to play a lot of football before hockey took over and ended up playing for my country. So probably kicking a ball around in the playground with the boys normally. In the house, anything, any form of ball or any form of sporting activity, probably, and being asked to come in for dinner. Right,
just
front pages.
Quickly, have you ever had any problems with seagulls?
Oh, when I've got an ice cream.
Yeah, they love ice cream, don't they?
And they are savage as well. They'll swoop down. You won't even see them. Next minute, your whole ice cream's gone, which you've just bought.
My wife lost an ice cream this summer to a seagull. So psycho scumbag seagulls will be blasted with lasers and white noise in a new war on the winged menaces, as in the Daily Star. Funding of £100,000 is going to be handed to councils to control the flying rats. So that's a bit harsh, maybe. I think pigeons are flying rats. Amid a gull summit aimed at coming up with a plan to stop their kamikaze attacks on humans. Scotland's Agricultural Minister Jim Fairley says effective gull management requires a range of solutions. There you go.
There we go.
So, Tory MSP Douglas Ross has called the £100,000 funding pitiful and the summit a sham due to local MSPs and the media not being invited. But, do need to sort this out.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, yes, I have actually. You haven't got any silly middle names, have you?
No, just Mary. That's all right.
Pretty standard. Yeah. A mum was left fuming after her husband named their children after Bond villains on the sly. William Woodhams gave his two kids the middle names of Scaramanga and Blofeld.
That is good.
Apparently his wife Nick gave some kids some DJ names to reflect her career. And William said, I got my revenge. If you're named after a megalomaniac or a three-nippled assassin, you're set up for life.
There we go. There we go.
Katie Scaramanga Shanahan.
Can you imagine? And on the, I was just thinking about similar names on the front page of The Sun. Danny Dyer having to, she's injured. She's not in Strictly anymore. She's got the same name as her dad.
She's picked up an ankle and she's out of Strictly.
Fractured her
ankle.
She's
been ruled out.
Yeah, geez. Right. Thank you, Nick, for now. Up next, we're going to be looking ahead to Nottingham Forest's first game back in Europe for the first time in 30 years. This is talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan here with you. Early Sports Breakfast. morning. This is Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan here, guiding you through until 6 o'clock, where Alan Brazil and the birthday boy, Ali McCoist, will be here with talkSPORT Breakfast. We've got a really fun show for you, so stay tuned for that. We've been talking about Liverpool because Hugo Ekitike got a second yellow card for taking his shirt off for celebrating. A couple of really good shouts here in terms of whether the rule should stay or go. Dave in Somerset says, rather than give a yellow or even a second yellow for taking the shirt off, I think they should introduce a sin bin for 10 minutes instead of sending them off for a second yellow card. Good shout there, actually, as well. And also a very good morning to Dave, the Liverpool fan, who says that Ekitike's let Liverpool down last night and players do not need to take their shirts off. Well, this is going to be a theme that's going to be continuing through talkSPORT Breakfast. Give me a call, 0371 722 3344. Right, coming up on talkSPORT today, Big Ange is back in the Europa League and Nottingham Forest are back after nearly 30 years in Europe.
Robertson, the first time we've seen them attack them, and there's Francis! Trevor Francis, the £1 million man, puts his name on the score sheet. European football return to this great cathedral of football.
We're not just there to take part in. We want to compete, we want to do really well, we want to take the game to whoever we're playing. Of course, it's going to be a tough test, but one we're extremely excited for and want to do well in.
Ange Postecoglou has just been confirmed by Nottingham Forest as their new head coach.
He told you, he always wins something, and he's done it.
I don't have to prove anything to anyone. It'll bring back so many memories for everybody.
Nottingham Forest defend their European Cup title.
And it'd be lovely for the new generation to experience those European nights.
Don't ever let people stop you dreaming from, what could be an incredible season for us.
It just shows you if you get things right, it is possible, to compete.
This is dream stuff.
I'm expecting Forest to go from strength to strength.
That's what I want to do. I want to win trophies. That's what I've done my whole career, and that's what I want to try and do here.
40-odd years after that European Cup final, special times are back.
Yeah, very special times as Nottingham Forest are away at Real Betis and Seville tonight. And our very own Max Scott is on his way to cover it all for talkSPORT. A huge Nottingham Forest fan, and he sent us this voice note here on Early Sports Breakfast.
Good morning. I'm up early doors on my way to Seville to watch Forest play European football. Now, back in 2007, it was the League One playoff semi-final second leg. Forest had a 2-goal lead, and they lost 5-2 at home to Yeovil, which resigned the club to another year in League One. It was the worst moment of my Forest supporting life. And if you'd have told me then that I would be getting on a plane to watch Forest play European football, I just wouldn't have believed you. So it's a special day for the club. There's thousands of Forest fans already in Seville. It's a properly historic moment for the club. Of course, we all know how big sort of European football is part of the history of the club. And I'm going to be covering it for talkSPORT all day today, giving you all the reaction tomorrow from a massive game against Real Betis. Nottingham Forest's first game in Europe for 30 years. Remember, we've got live coverage on talkSPORT 2 as well. Kick off at 8 p.m. tonight. It's going to be an absolute belter.
Certainly is. Right, here's what's coming up on Breakfast. Boris Becker is on the show to promote his new book and discuss everything in tennis. Stuart Pearce will look ahead to Forest's European return, we were just hearing about there. And David Seaman is here to preview Arsenal's Carabao Cup game with Port Vale. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, here with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist are up next. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Have a great day.